Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, hayfroSELLS. My name is Jeff, and tonight we're going to get into the Esoteric Book Haul Part 2. Do you know how hard it is to just have these books here and not go through them? Like, I still don't even know what all I've got, and my memory is even more detached from when I actually picked them up. So I've been having some problems with my phone. It might just die at some point. I'm having some memory issues or whatnot. If it does, I'm not going to redo the video. The video is going to end when it ends. If we get through them all, great. If we don't, then I guess there'll be a part 3. Now, to recap, everything in here is for sale. So if you're watching it tomorrow, you can contact me directly at hayfroSELLS@gmail.com. If you're watching this in the future, contact me anyhow, because I always am trying to buy books like this when I get an opportunity. I do have another lead on another one, and I may be going back to this place where I got this stuff on Saturday. I may pick up the rest of what was there. I may even just get some of the German books that are there too, because I don't speak German, but they were all esoteric books, so there might be some German esoteric fans out there. So yeah, let's start. First thing I want to show you is it's somebody's personal journal. It's really cool. I'll do my best to be able to show you. In here, in the first page, it says Asha research for planned. I don't know what that says. Anyhow, let's just skip that. So this was in 1938. So this is somebody's journal from 1938, and there's just so much stuff in here. There's like notes, like signs. There's tons of these newspaper clippings. Some are glued to the what they call these astrology charts. There is an order in our universe. There has to be a reason for everything, by Irene Beale. Another one, Pluto and the Bomb, by Dennis Stanley Garrett. It's kind of hard. So, I mean, there's like, what was that? Oh, something just fell out. It's really fragile. Success through self-approval. There's like all these cool articles. Trying to be careful with these. I think the one page might have just fallen out because of me handling it. The effect of Neptune in a chart. I mean, there's just, the whole book is full of these things. There's all these newspaper clippings. There's like, it's just, I don't know anything about astrology. I know very little. But I'm fascinated by the subject. And there's like, I just think it would be cool, like if you understood this stuff, to be like, someone is talking about vitamin B and like, just like, I don't know, there's like nutritional stuff in here as well. If you were educated in astrology, and then there's a whole nother one. There's a whole nother file where there's like all this information. There were some really cool like charts. Capital Park. That's interesting. AFA Bulletin, Lunation, April 24, 1971. Don't know what that is. YVRRPW newsletter. Oh wait, this looks like... I don't even know if that has anything to do with astrology. There were some other charts that were in here. Probably not going to be able to find them now that I'm on cam. Magical herbalism. Oh yeah, like stuff like these other charts that you probably you've got to fill in the information. Anything like that. I actually might make photocopies of these just to have them, just because well, I like to collect kind of like weird stuff. Okay, so enough of that. Enough of that. I mean, I could take up a whole video just showing you guys stuff. So there's like two things, like just full of stuff. Like I'm probably gonna sell it. I take a lot of pictures, describe it. Now there was something else that I wanted to share with you. I'm just not seeing it right now. I did actually sell a couple of the books too that I did in the first video. I'll be doing that in my haul video tomorrow. Here, wait, is this it? Yes, I wanted to start with something that, this is somebody's letter. I'm going to do my best to read this. It's basically somebody's letter detailing a UFO experience. And I think it's important to kind of read and share information like this in case someone else out there has had an experience. So it says, it's the dream on the 17th to the 18th. So in the night between the 17th and the 18th of January, 1997. On a street with my mother, some foreign country. Suddenly on my left, I notice a UFO. Color lights, crystal, type, transparent blue, and lower past darker blue. It slows down, and when I avoided to look at it, something with my face toward the wall, covering my little mother with my body and hands against the wall, I felt an electric type prickling down my spine like small electrodes, as if my hair is standing up. I lost time perceptions and then realized re-entered my body sort of, and realized about 30 minutes elapsed since this prickly feeling down my spine. My wristwatch was about 1:30. I don't know day or night. I think night. The sheets were empty. Also, when that prickly feeling started down my spine, I remember the same feeling before. It was very familiar. And in my dream, I still thought, here it comes again, the same feeling. And I remembered the dream so vividly that I thought, I will write this down upon awakening. And they actually drew the UFO, and it says it was blue light, darker blue there. I don't know if anybody's ever had any UFO experiences. I remember years ago, this is my own personal experience, not that I had, but I remember talking with my mom, and I was like, you know, Mom, I was like, it's weird that I don't know anybody who's ever had a UFO experience or something. This is going to be the first book. Oriental Magic. Figure I better get into this. And she goes, well, I've had one. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? An Experiment with Time by J.W. Dunn. And this is from, this looks old. This is weird. I'm sure this is not real. It looks like it's like fake or play money. she goes, well, my mom, back to my story, she said, I've had one. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, so this is at the time she must have been like 50. She's like, back when I was 15, 14, back in 1960 something, like 1960. Basically, she was across the street from her home. She was behind the school, having a cigarette when she was like 15 or 16. And suddenly out of nowhere, this spaceship, this UFO, just came out of nowhere, hovered around her for like a few, 10, 15 seconds, and then just took off. Power of the Witch by Lori Cabot. She was so freaked out that she went home, didn't say a word. Temple Magic, William Gray. She went in. My grandparents were there. Her parents were just watching the news. She kind of walked in the house and she was like, anything different happen? She was kind of fishing. Now, back then it was a different time. Like, my mom had an older brother. She was kind of the young child. You know, she didn't really feel that she wasn't taken seriously. So she didn't say anything to anybody until she was married to my dad years later. So that tells me that I believe that this is what happened to her. Enochian Magic, a practical manual by Gerald Schuler. You know, if it was just for attention, she would have said something right away. You know, she was afraid they would have put her like in some sort of institution. This was in 1985, first edition, first printing, Gerald Schuler. So I did know somebody who had some sort of UFO experience, at least from their perspective. The Gentle Arts of Aquarian Magic by Marion Green. Magical techniques to help you master the crafts of the wise. This one doesn't look quite as old. Or maybe it's just this was copyright, first published in 1987. I've never had anything happen to me. And never had anything happen to me out of the ordinary in general, to be honest with you. A Witch Alone, Marion Green, same author. Another practical handbook, it says. Oh, what's this? Postcard. Stealing the Jewels of Baghdad, painting by Dr. Arthur Nuko, 1990. That's kind of interesting. Guess I need to keep looking inside these things to see what's in here. All right, so this is cool. Theosophical Glossary by Blavatsky, H.P. Blavatsky. So, let me show you. This is one of two of Madame Blavatsky's books. I have another one here. So this was in 1966, but it's a photographic reproduction of the original edition as first issued in 1892. So this is the glossary. I'm guessing, so this is Secret Doctrine, H.P. Blavatsky, volume 1, Cosmogenesis. It's missing the dust jacket. So this is the same deal, verbatim from the original edition in 88. This is the 1963 edition. I know who Blavatsky is. I've never read anything by them. I may want to give this a read. It looks pretty dense. I don't know how much of it I'm going to actually understand, but I've never had anything by her, so I definitely do want to give that a read. I'll probably throw the glossary up. I don't see any need to keep that. All right, next pile. All right. Astrological Guide to Marriage. This is a small little book by Carol Reiter. Yeah. Okay, this is Occult Exercises and Practices by somebody named Knight with a K. Gareth Knight, 1969. By the same author who wrote A Practical Guide to Kabbalistic Symbolism and The Practical of Ritual Magic. So it has like physical exercises, astral exercises, mental exercises, spiritual exercises, and prayer. This is actually one I definitely want to check out. You know, I learned something about myself recently at the age of 47. This was last year. I just had my birthday. I'm now 48. The influence of Pluto on human love life. Reinhold Eberton. This is like a little brochure. This edition was printed in Eberton in 1970. So what I learned about myself is that I can't visualize things. And that's actually really important in trying to do any magic. The concept of visualization is super important, and I can't do it. Like I literally close my eyes and I try to visualize something. And how I even came across, how I even realized it was once my dog passed away in January, I was trying, a couple months after, I was trying to visualize him in my mind. I was trying to just create the image of him in my mind. Man in the Universe, and this is the same, Reinhold Eberton, An Introduction to Cosmobiology. And I couldn't do it. I know what he looked like. But my wife, she can visualize things so clearly in her mind, as if she's looking at a picture. And I'm I can't do that. It's anytime I try to meditate, all I see is black. Now there's actually something there is a syndrome, I guess. I don't know. There's a syndrome for everything, and it's just basically it has something to do with the way you're wired. This looks cool. Astrocartography. I don't know what this is, from 1976, but it looks cool. It's kind of like a pamphlet. I don't know. And it explains a lot about myself. When I read a book, I really have to it takes me a while to kind of get all the characters straight. I don't like it when people read to me. I don't like it when people, I need to read it. I need to see it. I need to read it. I need to put things together. I've had to do that all my life. Your individually compiled horoscope. I don't know if this was something personalized. There's two of them. I don't know what these are. I'll have to look at those. So yeah, Anybody else out there, have you ever like tried to visualize something and nothing comes? It's the weirdest. I mean, it's not weird because it's happened to me like all my life. Cosmic Trigger, Robert Anton Wilson. Final Secret of the Illuminati, Volume 1. I have another book by him. I've had it literally since I was like 18. And it's like, I remember reading it back then and thinking this dude either knows some stuff or this dude is like, this is 1996 11th pretty. He either knows some stuff or he's on some really good drugs. Anti-Gravity and the World Grid, David Hatcher Childress. This looks cool. Acoustic Levitations of Stones. Where's that picture that I just saw? I don't know. Just some cool like diagrams. It could be to a jungle gym. I don't know. That looks cool. Oh, it's Tesla stuff. All right. Magic That Works. Practical Training for the Children of Light. Francis Harrison. I'm not even going to attempt that name. I'm going to butcher it. Nineveh Shadrach, I think. Ishtar Publishing. Picture of some Buddhas in here. 22 minutes and we're still running. This book was from 2005. All right, Serpent in the Sky, The High Wisdom of Ancient Egypt. Some more Egypt stuff. Who doesn't love some Egyptology? 1993, First Quest edition. And Paul Foster Case, The True and Invisible Rosicrucian Order. This is from 1987. All right. He's back over here. I don't know if I'm going to make it through all of these. I've underestimated how much I can talk. Another Reinhold Eberton Transits. What day is favorable to me? Little mini book. Israel Regardi, The Golden Dawn. This looks a cool book. I think I did a price check on this. I think this one's like 40 or more. This is 2 volumes in here. This is the 5th printing. Pretty thick book. Mysteries of the Great Operas by Max Heindel. Magical Almanac. What am I, British? Actually, I do have some British. Edited by Ray Buckland. And it is... oh. It's an Illuminati sign. Well-loved book. Egyptian Magic, E.A. Wallace Budge. I know we've had some other stuff from A.E. Wallace Budge. I think I listed something. I might add that to that listing. Modern Witches Spell Book, Book 2, Sarah Liddon Morrison. Still More, Charms, Spells, Occult Mysteries. Apprenticed to Magic and the Kabbalah, W.E. Butler. And there's a very nice leather bookmark that belonged to Jasleen Banji. I think I might keep that for myself. It's quite nice. Supernatural, Colin Wilson. Okay, I'm feeling the home stretch here, people. I think I can do it. I think I can. The Body Magnetic, Burl Payne. It's very, very cool cover. It's very David Icke-ish. If you know who he is, it seems like one of his covers. I'm surprised there's no David Icke in here. The New Magus, Ritual Magic as a Personal Process. I have a book on ritual magic myself, and then when I was reading it, and that's when they were talking about visualization. Cool little picture that's in there. And that's when I realized I really struggle with, maybe I'm just not good at it. Maybe I need to practice it. How to make ESP work for you, Harold Sherman. I'm going to sneeze here real soon. I just feel it. Oh, bless me. This looks like an old one. 1965, 5th printing. To Martha, my wife. Okay. Let's see what kind of topics it covers. If you ever wanted to develop ESP, there you go. And I'm not mocking, I'm just joking. The Black Sun, Montauk's. Just let you guys read it. You know, after the whole World Aid Day, December 1st, after the whole, I'm going to say censorship that's on eBay, not being able to use certain words in your listings, not being able to sell certain things. When it comes to saying certain words, I'm new to YouTube, so I don't know if they're gonna like pull some stuff too. Nothing in this book is true, but it's exactly how things are. Now that, I love that. Bob Frizzell, come on, that is worth reading. That's just the way everything is too. Secrets from Nepal, very cool postcard. What was I talking about? Censorship, yeah, eBay. Breaking the Gospel, Neil Freer. Things just aren't easy anymore. All these rules. Conspirators' Hierarchy, the story of the Committee of 300. Interesting. Sedona. Power Spot Vortex. Now, a medicine wheel guide by Richard Dannelly. Now, Sedona is a place that I would love to visit. I've heard some amazing things about the energy there. It's kind of situated, and there's something about that area that's magical. One of these days. Magnetic Current, Edward Leedskelly. I don't know, forget it. I give up. It's like a pamphlet kind of. This book was actually purchased from Amazon. How funny is that? Oh, okay, that's awesome. Surviving Planet X Passage. This is a pamphlet. This is interesting because one of the authors, Zachariah Sitchin, that I showed some books on the other one, he wrote about Planet X, Nibiru, and how it's this planet, this massive planet that the directory of the occult, Hans Holzer, he wrote about this planet that has a different rotation. Instead of the planets, so here's the sun, instead of the planets that go around the universe, like goes around the sun like this planet goes around like this. I don't know if that's going to make any sense. and it's a really long rotation, and when it comes, it pulls, like the magnetic pull is what causes basically the events that wipe out everything. A Pilgrim's Guide to Planet Earth. And it's always been speculation about this planet, and it's always been kind of like, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory. The Secret Oral to Traditions in Tibetan Buddhist Sect by Alexandra David Neal and Lama Yongden. But I just read an article, like from like a NASA site or something like that, that basically said that they think there is this super planet. Llewellyn's Practical Magic series, Magical Herbalism, Scott Cunningham. So I think it's interesting that maybe Zachariah Sitchin was right. And then David Icke, Lifting the Veil. I guess I'm kind of hungry. I wonder if this is a first print. It doesn't actually say, but this is actually kind of cool. I like David Icke. I know he's out there. I like listening to him. I think he knows a lot. I think he's a pretty interesting guy. I haven't really followed him for years, but yeah, that's cool. And it's in really good shape compared to some of these books. I think that's pretty much it. The other thing I wanted to show you guys was, I mentioned in the other video that like most everything that I have is for sale, unless it's kind of like in my queue to read, and then it's going to go for sale. But pretty much the one thing that I have that's not like, I don't think I would ever part with these. I found these in a like a bookstore that was going out of business in Vancouver years ago. They're like these little pamphlets called Cosmic Wisdom, Spiritual Mental Science. And it's basically by Dr. Clark Wilkerson. And these things to me are just, I don't know, they're priceless to me. They're based on the teachings of the Hunas, the indigenous people of Hawaii. And I don't know, there's just some really cool stuff in here, basically about how they view the world and how it's all interconnected, how everything is connected. There's some spells in there. I know that sounds crazy, but there's just some really cool stuff in here. And this is pretty much like the one thing that is sacred to me that I don't think I would ever sell. And I just came across it by some random fluke. And like I said, they were going out of business. So anyhow, that's my haul. I'm sticking to it. I think I pretty much showed you guys everything. I'm going to be doing okay, actually I am going to talk about one more thing. This book, Matrix by Valdemar Valerian. This was in the first haul. This book is interesting. And this author, Valdemar Valerian, write that name down. Because if you ever find anything, like any of his original books, they sell for anywhere from like $200 to $500 on eBay. Like, and I had never heard of this guy. Sometimes more, probably depending on condition. And I didn't even look to see if there were like other like second printings or third printings, but and so this I'm thinking this is like a facsimile, like it's like a reprint. And I don't know if it's like, I think there's different volumes of the Matrix, and like I've seen some kind of wild prices for this particular book, but yet the cover was a different color, and then on the one it had like a different binding. Like, I don't know, like I've seen prices range from like $100 to $300 on this. It's completely bizarre. Here's what I do know. I read the first page, and I can see how in 1988 that was the information that he talks about would have been shocking. Now it's kind of just like, oh yeah, that is the way it is. Like, I'm not surprised by that. But I still want to read the rest of it to kind of just see if there's something in here that I didn't know. And then I'll put this one up for sale. And there were some other cool surprises. But I'll probably cover, this video is getting pretty long. I'll probably cover that in my haul video tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. Anyhow, as I mentioned before, everything in here is for sale. If you see something you want, or you want to, my email is hayfroSELLS@gmail.com, same as the YouTube channel. And it's like I said, if you're watching this a year, 6 months, a year and a half from now, I like to get in stuff like this when I can. And I always have lots of cool stuff in my store anyhow. So take care, have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon.